is important to understand who Raj Thackeray is and where is he today. Because remember, about 2 decades ago, it appeared that at the turn of century, Raj Thackeray was all set to inherit the mantle from Shiv Sena Tiger and his uncle Bal Thackeray. But in the past 20 years, did all the political calculations turn upside down for him? Today, he stands at other side of the political spectrum of Shiv Sena, its chief, his cousin Uddhav Thackeray, and the Maharashtra Navnirman Sena chief. Is he a challenger? Could he be a challenger to Shiv Sena? Take a look about this profile of Raj Thackeray.
ज्या दिवशी माझं सरकार या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये येईल त्यावेळेला रस्त्यामधले नमाज आम्ही पडल्या बंद केल्याशिवाय राहणार नाही.
This old threat of the legendary Shiv Sena chief brought to life nearly a decade after his death by not his chosen successor, but the nephew who always aspired to be his chosen leader, Raj Thackeray. Born to the younger brother of Bal Thackeray, Raj was his uncle's shadow in growing years. A graduate of fine arts from the JJ Institute of Applied Arts, Raj Thackeray started his career much like his uncle as a cartoonist in the weekly magazine Marmik, run by Bal Thackeray. Politics was in his blood, and he had the legendary Maratha satrap as his mentor. Raj Thackeray launched the youth wing of the Shiv Sena and came to prominence in the 1990 Maharashtra Assembly election. Raj's cousin and Bala Sahib's son Uddhav Thackeray at this point of time was working hard to establish himself as a photographer. Both cousins graduated from the same school, and it would take another decade before the rift started to show. Uddhav Thackeray would lead the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation election for the Shiv Sena in 2002. Raj would start getting sidelined despite his years of hard work. In next few years, it would be clear that his uncle and the aging Shiv Sena chief's chosen political successor was his son Uddhav and not the nephew who had the grassroots support. 9th March 2006. Raj Thackeray broke away from the Shiv Sena after years of tussle and launched his own party, Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, the MNS. Initially written off as a fledgling of Shiv Sena, Raj Thackeray established himself as a challenger to Uddhav with his successful 2008 anti-North Indian campaign. He led the violent movement against migrants from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar working and living in Maharashtra.
देखिए उत्तर प्रदेश की पानी पूरी खाते वक्त राज ठाकरे को देखिए कैसे पानी पूरी खाएंगे ये उत्तर अरे शांतरा म्हणून ते चिडले.
Next, he led a successful strong campaign in favor of business signboards in Maharashtra being written in the Marathi language. 2 years later, in 2010, MNS along with Shiv Sena banned Australian cricketers participating in IPL 3 from playing in Mumbai as a protest against the attack on Indian students in Australia. This made many hope for the reunion of the Thackerays, but that was not to be. 2 years later, in 2012, when Bala Thackeray breathed his last, Uddhav Thackeray picked up his mantle. Thackeray cousins were united in their grief and family loss, but remained poles apart in their political dominance of Maharashtra. Raj Thackeray became the sworn political opponent of Uddhav and Shiv Sena in the state. He has not been able to cause much electoral dent in the poll politics, but has been the agitator who has been a thorn in the side for his cousin and now the Chief Minister of Maharashtra.
की या 135 मशिदींवरती मुंबईतल्या खास करून महाराष्ट्रातले तिकडचे जे काही कमिशनर असतील ते बघतील, पण मुंबईचे पोलीस कमिशनर, मुंबईचे पोलीस हे या 135 मशिदींवरती काय कारवाई करणार आहेत आणि करणार आहेत की नाही करणार आहेत ते एकदा समजू देत.
With this, the road ahead just pulls the cousins away from each other politically even more and establishes Raj Thackeray as the staunch right-wing agitator and the successor of hardcore Hindutva politics of Bal Sahib. Bureau Report, India Today. So remember, this is the big Thackeray versus Thackeray battle in Mumbai, and who eventually will benefit, and could it be advantage BJP as well as elections are approaching. But that was not all for loudspeaker debate in Mumbai. I'm going to now show you what was another angle to this. Remember the Rana couple? The independent member of parliament Navneet Kaur Rana, on April 23rd, walking out, getting arrested with that defiance of chanting Hanuman Chalisa outside Matoshri. Her husband, independent member of Legislative Assembly, Ravi Rana as well, shouting, sloganeering, looking like the next big face of Hindutva politics. Today, May 4th, just few days later, they were granted bail with a 50,000 surety bond. But it was not the same look on her face. Quietly making an exit, sitting in her vehicle and reaching their residence where the BMC team is waiting to search. Also remember, this is because the court has made a condition that the bail is only if they choose not to talk to the media anymore. What will now happen to the Rana couple and their politics remains to be seen.